Hello and welcome to Fearless DIY Music. My name is Tristan Lass and this is part 4 of the real-time pedal build series. I realized I kind of bailed there a little bit towards the end because I was freaking out about these capacitors. I'd like to welcome everybody back. I can't imagine anybody watching this video hasn't already watched the others. I did figure out a fix for the capacitor. I have that insulated and isolated and out of the way and fits inside of the enclosure without touching anything else. So we have our mess of wires, which looks intimidating, but as we solder each one of these into the chassis, it's just going to go like butter. So I'm hoping, I'm examining it right now, double checking just to see if we have any potential spots that could be trouble for us, and I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm actually going to cut a little piece of self-adhesive foam to put around that power supply area just in case that decides to do something funky. I don't think it will. I'm just going to put a little piece of foam in there. I've also put a little piece of foam in the corner of the enclosure just to kind of cushion this side of the circuit board. We're just going to throw that right there. It's just an insurance policy. That's all it is. And hoping that we don't even have to mess with it. All right. So we do have a couple connections we need to make to the board from our chassis. So we need to go ahead and get our live wire and our ground in there. So for the live wire, we want to have the wire from our 9-volt jack and our LED from the foot switch, the power supply, to the LED. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to solder those in to the circuit board while it is outside of the box, because I think if we try to put it in there, and then try to solder it, we're going to ask for trouble. So I'll just go ahead and do this real quick. You know what? I'm going to run that from the other side just because I don't want to have to, we don't want to have things going up against the side of the enclosure or have to fight any of that kind of stuff. So we're going to solder it from this side. Get a nice clean solder. So we're doing our live wires right now to lug 0. Lug 0, which is just a universal power supply junction. Alright, so we have our power supplies in. Spin those wires up and out so that when we install our circuit board, that will go smoothly. Alright, look at this floating mess of wires. Oh my goodness, it's enough to give you a heart attack. Alright, now our ground from chassis, it goes to lug numero uno, which I do have exposed over here. This one we can shorten a little bit. So let's do that. This is our ground from our input jack that we did earlier that we're just going to stick right in there. Oh, God help me. Alright, this is going to be interesting. Alright, soldering that, I'm going to have to be a gymnast. But we'll get it. Get it. I just don't want to burn any existing wires. That's the only name of the game. Don't mess anything up that's already in there. Alright. Did I get it? Did my contortionism work? It sure did. Alright. So we are ready to put this circuit board in. Now, part of me is just thinking, I was going to stick it with double-sided tape. But now I'm beginning to think I can just put some foam in there and that the wires, since there are so many of them and I'm going to be running them nice and tight once we get this in there, I think I'm going to leave the circuit board non-attached to the chassis. I was going to double-sided tape it in there. I'm just going to put it in like this and we'll check it after we're done. And if I feel like it needs more security, I can add that later. But I think we're going to be okay. I really do. Otherwise I wouldn't do it. But I do have to make sure as we fit it in there that I don't have components that we don't want rubbing against things. Alright, we have a potential issue there. Let's pull that out. Okay. We're going to line this other side with foam as well to insulate it from the chassis. We do not want unwanted grounding out of anything. Whoa. Once again, there won't be a single one of these videos that doesn't have me shoving the wires into the fan. So if you look, I now have that fully lined with foam. And like I said, there may... Okay, and I got to make sure that stays... Yes. Yes. Okay. We are looking real nice there. I'm going to press down on the circuit board, kind of get that going. And I've got our weird capacitor hanging out. I got to make sure I kind of keep it in. Okay. We have a very secure and fully insulated circuit board. And I don't think that would move if you wanted it to. And once the bottom goes on, it will squeeze this one capacitor, and it's not grounding out or going into anything else dangerously. Although, yeah, it actually is. It's going into my MOSFET. Well, that's no good. Alright, let's make sure that we fix that. There we go. Now that's not an issue. Alright. Excellent. So, we're all good. Now, remember all that labeling we did. So we now have all of our wires from our chassis are now attached to the circuit board. Now we have to take the circuit board wires and put them where they need to go. Okay, so let's start at the start. On this side of our board, let me take a quick pick, and we really should just be connecting dots at this point. Okay, wire number 1. This is 1K middle lug. Okay, well, let's put it on 1K middle lug. I'm measuring it out. I'm cutting it. And, you know, this is where the labeling comes in. If I hadn't been fastidious about labeling all these things, this part would be impossible. It would literally be impossible to be keeping track or checking back to your schematic every 2 minutes to wonder, what the heck wire am I working on now? Alright. No, we did not get that. That is not a good solder, and I knew it too the second I did it. Okay. Still not a good solder. What's going on here? Am I getting the wire hot enough? Oh, my little fan. Come on, buddy. Okay, we got that. So we'll go ahead and put that in. Like that. Leaving room. And this is our... Alright, that's our hard clip. What's our next wire? Soft send. Oh, 1K, lug number 1. That's the one I'm looking for. I want to get this potentiometer done. Okay, trim some of that off. So we're going into our 1K. I don't know if pictures of the inside of this enclosure are even a good idea anymore. It is a spaghetti monster in here. Like I said, I will have schematics up, everything that's happening. But yeah, it's it would be difficult to be able to follow what's happening at this point. Once your circuit board goes in and you're starting to connect all these, really the key is to have your circuit board just every wire coming off of it just has to be labeled. All right, so that's our voltage. Our voltage potentiometer is now fully wired to the board. This is the hard clip option. This is our soft clip option. This is the overall output. And the overall output is going to be going there. This is our main clip. And what is this one? This is our output. Wait a minute. Oh, input. We still have our input to do. Oh, geez. I forgot about that. Let's get our inputs and outputs done, and then we'll worry about the hard clipping stuff. All right, because this is going to be, let's see, input to circuit. This is an important one. So that's going to go to our foot switch. The last remaining lug, the upper left lug, is now getting wired, and that is the send to our circuit board. Whoops. Why didn't that strip? There we go. Okay. Alright, that's our input to the board. Let's go ahead and get that soldered without melting every other wire around. Easier said than done. Oh geez, that solder just danced right off the damn thing. Oh, what is happening here? Alright, well that was not the best effort ever. All right, I'm just double checking things here to make sure that I don't have that input getting messed with anything else. I don't think so. Now we're good. We're all good. Okay, output from circuit is going right there on that middle lug of our push-pull. Boy, that couldn't be a more unpleasant final solder for that part. Our hard clipping switch is going to be easy compared to this. This is going to be a nightmare. This is going to be a nightmare. Well, maybe not. I'm trying to open up the lug a little bit. I'm afraid. Oh, I hate going in hot like this. I should have wired that. I should have wired the push-pull off camera and before I did all this stuff. I really should have, and I knew it too. I told myself, it's like, I should really, maybe I should do that. All right, I got to do some ninja soldering here. This is going to be fraught. Did I get that first shot? If I did, I'll be so happy. Yep, got it first shot. Okay, so now we're wiring the clipping switch. This is our main, so it goes in the middle. This is our primary, our common. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now, which direction do I Do I want to have my hard clipping in? I'll have hard clipping out. So hard clipping's out, hard clipping is right there. Okay, we're 2 solders away from plugging this thing in and trying it out, which is crazy, you know, that we made it, and we'll see if it works. Oh man, I think I have a 50% chance that this thing is going to work first try. 50%. That is my prediction. And if something doesn't work, we're going to just turn off the cameras and I'll do a separate video. I mean, this happens, you know. Look at how much I've done. Look at how far we've gotten. And it could just not work. I mean, that's the nature of building pedals. And it's such a heartbreak when it doesn't. Usually it's something very simple. And I think that by doing it the way that I did it, by you know, kind of getting all my chassis stuff figured out first, not kind of, you know, putting that stuff together as I went along, which I kind of do sometimes because I'm prone to working fast and sloppy sometimes. I think we may be okay. All right, that's everything. I've made all connections. I don't have anything left to connect. Turn off my fan. I'm going to put my solder over here. I'm going to put my tools away. Just thinking, oh, I'm done. And this is where, like I said, we might be happy, we might be crying. I don't know. Right now, if it works, I'm happy. I'm very happy. If it doesn't work, I'm not messing with it the rest of the day. Just throwing things away off camera. I just kind of want to get my brain cleared and my work area cleared a little bit, and I'm gonna be optimistic that it will actually fire up. I'm gonna turn off my soldering iron because I get nasty interference from the soldering iron through my amps, so, which is only to be expected. All right, let me turn on the amp. I kind of have things staged as if, oh, this might work. Let me grab a fresh Kirkland here. All right, we have a power supply. We have a power supply. Plug that in. Make sure we don't have any like nasty metal stuff ready to short something out. I'm not putting the back on it. I'm not that confident. So I may have to look around. If it doesn't work, I will look real quick to see if there's anything interesting that I can figure out. We're gonna keep it off because I don't wanna, I like to just hear the bypass signal first. We have bypass signal. Okay, bear with me. I've got some things that I always do. I'm turning everything down. Whoa. Okay, I can't do that. The guitar is horribly out of tune. So if this does work, I want to be able to hit a power chord, you know, and not be horrified. All right, so let's turn it on. All right, our light's on. Uh-oh. You can hear something. Weird. some reason, oh, did I do everything backwards? Oh my goodness, there's no way. All right. That's actually my volume knob. Okay, got it. That's my volume knob. This is my voltage. This would be treble. Okay. All right. So I just have to do a couple tweaks to this and it'll be up and operational fully, but it is passing signal. The signal is doing what it should. I just messed up on a couple of potentiometer connections, which I'm going to fix off camera. And the next time that you see this pedal, we'll be playing it in a video, doing a demo of it going up against some of my other electro circuits. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. You take care. I hope you like and subscribe. I hope your pedal doesn't need a tweak or two after you get done with it. All right, you take care and hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time.